Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel once again. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know that I recently paid off $31,000 in debt, and I did it in 22 months. So if you want to hear the story of how I did that, then please keep watching. Okay, so you might want to get your favorite drink because we're going to get into some story time here. So, as you know from the preview of this video, I paid off $31,000 in 22 months during a pandemic. So it's pretty crazy when I say it out loud, but it's actually what happened. So let me take you back to how this journey started and what made me have just a shift in mentality of I want to be debt free. Let's rewind to obviously like 22 months ago, a bit more than that because this video, it took a couple months for me to like put it out, but I was actually at a Sunday weekend service at my home church here in the South Bay. Our senior pastor is talking about debt, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm in debt. This is going to be very applicable. Sitting there, and our pastors teach straight from the Bible. So what that means is we open the Bible, we cover a chapter, and we go line by line. And our pastors also have supporting, scripture verses from like other books in the Bible, and it's just really nice to see the Bible come alive to really understand it. Okay, there's some context. So our pastor starts talking about how when we are in debt, we are slaves to the enemy. And when I heard that, it literally just shook me, like a brick to the face, super convicted, thinking, that's me. Right? I don't know if you've ever been in a service or a sermon and you think like, wow, the pastor knows my story. Someone must have told the pastor my life story and he is now in the pulpit just preaching about me. That is not the case. They are, being directed by the Holy Spirit. So a lot of prayer and just time goes into their sermons. So anyways, back to the story. I am just shook at what I'm hearing, and he starts giving you examples of how you feel when you are a slave to the enemy. And he is saying that you have anxiety, and then you're frustrated, you're angry, like you really can't live a normal life because you keep thinking about the debt. It keeps you up at night. You're stressed. And I was saying yes to every single thing that he was saying because it was so true. I would not sleep well. My hair was like falling out. I was always frustrated and angry and snapping at like my family and friends because I honestly didn't know how I was going to pay for my debt. So I couldn't wait to get home that day because I really wanted to close the doors. I wanted to get on my knees. I wanted to repent, to ask God for forgiveness because I had been just such a bad steward of my finances. And our pastor talked about stewardship. Like when you are a steward, you are being entrusted, right, to someone else's property, to someone else's belongings. Like they trust you. And the Lord had trusted me with income, right? His income. All money is his, but because he is my provider. But I had been such a bad administrator, like such a bad steward, and I was so convicted. Like I just wanted to get home. I just probably had a blank stare during, when you're saying bye to like all your friends. I couldn't wait to get home. And so I remember, getting on my knees, just asking the Lord for forgiveness. Lord, please help me. Like, I'm sorry that I didn't ask the right questions, that I had lack of wisdom, but you tell us in your word that I can ask for these things and I can ask for them freely. So I am asking, Lord, please give me wisdom to handle my finances, which are your finances, and I want to be a good steward of all of that. So, which is funny because our pastor was also talking about, hey, if it's gonna take for you to eat beans and rice for a couple months or a couple years, then go do that. Like, just get out of debt, right? So I'm like, okay, Lord, like, please help me. At this point, I had already moved out, so I was paying rent, and I had a lease, I had student loans, credit cards, car insurance, health insurance, like all the things that you have to pay for now because you're an adult. And those were the things that I was having now to deal with, was adulting. And so that brings another level of stress, because now you're thinking, well, what can I cut back on? Like, how am I gonna get there, right? My income at the moment was just enough to cover my expenses. I, at this point, had sold my business, my clothing business. I went, to work for a private public relations company here in Manhattan Beach. And it was just, I was getting back out there. Like, I had just not too long ago graduated. Well, no, at this point I had already graduated from college from Cal State Long Beach. And so it was 3 years after, because I graduated in 2013. So 3 years after college, or completing my university, and I just wanted to change. Like, I didn't want to be a business owner anymore. I wanted to go and work and gain some different skills and really find out what I wanted to do. And so I'm here, right? I have a decent job, not making minimum wage, but also not making, a ton of money because it's entry level. Okay, time for a coffee break. So good. So, at this point, which is funny because I feel like the Lord definitely prepared me along the way, I had already taken a class that taught about the principles that Dave Ramsey teaches with his Financial Peace University, which is how to budget, how to make sure that you can get rid of debt by using a snowball effect. So, which is funny because I actually joined this class at a different church, thinking it was not a class, but thinking that it would be a networking opportunity because of the name that it had. And so I think it's funny because the Lord definitely had its plans. Like, I went in with my own agenda. I'm going to use this as a networking opportunity. I'm going to network with people that, are believers, and we'll see how that goes. I was already in real estate, so I wanted to really explore that avenue with fellow brothers and sisters. Anyway, come to find out that whole class meeting time was about really surrendering areas of your life to the Lord and allowing Him to work in your life. So obviously finances are a big part, and so they touched on Dave Ramsey. And so I went to school, I took accounting, I knew basic accounting. I'm like, I can do this. I can do a budget. I can create a budget and really see what money is coming in, see what money is coming out, and we'll see what I'm left with at the end, right? I was a huge spender. I love to spend on clothing, good items, and I also just really like to go out with my friends and have a good time. So I charged a lot of things to my credit card. I had a business, so I charged my business things to a credit card at some point. And then I got student loans for school. I look back and I'm like, I could have gone to school for free, but I decided to take out student loans and use those student loans for other things. Again, you see a pattern. Not really being a good steward with my money. I really sat down and I cried and I got frustrated, but it was something that really needed to be done. And so one of the things that I learned through that process was that I had to have self-control. And so self-control is one of the fruits of the Spirit. I wasn't actually allowing it to produce like its fruit, right? And so I had to do a lot of self-reflection. I talked to my friends and I really confessed to them my sin, right? That I had all this debt and that I needed accountability. I needed someone to know what was going on, how much it was affecting me, and to really be honest with someone. I was honest with like a couple friends that I like knew and trusted, let them into what was going on. And so my friends were really sweet, and actually one of them kind of jumped on the wagon with me, and she at the time was paying off her car. She had no like debt or anything, just her car, but it really encouraged her to also pay it off. And so it became more of like a game for us, a challenge. I put a goal. I wanted to pay off my student loans in 2 years, and the way that I did that is, again, I went out and I built a budget. How much am I spending on all the things, all the expenses that I have a month, and then also how much am I gonna budget for groceries, for eating out, for shopping, for the things that I want to do that are fun. I was really strict at the beginning and I gave myself limits. I even learned how to cut my hair. I like YouTubed it. I got scissors and everything so that I could cut my hair and I could save on getting haircuts. My nails, I had always done my nails since I was 4 years old, so I knew I could do my own manicures. Thank the Lord, my parents were really good stewards, budgeting and making sure that she uses the least expensive method. Like, she's so good at that. So I already had an example, right? I was just choosing not to do certain things. So I set a budget. I noticed that I actually was spending more than I was bringing home, so there was a deficit. Red flags all over, right? And again, when you don't have a budget, you really don't know how much you're making and how much you're spending. What you're making should never be less than what you're spending. It should be the opposite because you want to have some savings. So learned the hard way, went back and I'm like, what can I eliminate? What are the things that I really don't need, I can do without? And the first thing was obviously, like, I noticed that I was spending way too much on clothing, makeup, other things. The other thing was I was spending money on subscriptions that I didn't need, right? I had like a Netflix account, I had like a Hulu account, I had other things that I didn't need anymore, or just like apps that you sign up for and you totally forget that they're there. Go to your apps and look at what's under a subscription. We sometimes sign up for things and they are then recurring and they happen every month. So a lot of my money was going to that, to shop. So I looked at all my debt and I broke it down. And I noticed that my smallest debt, because you have to put them in order, right? My smallest debt was like $1,000. And then I had credit cards for like $5,000, $7,000. And then I had like 6 or 8 different student loans, and there were different amounts. So all of it added up to $31,000. I looked at my smallest debt and I tackled it. I was so excited when I was able to pay it off, and I used the minimum payment of that debt, which was a small student loan, towards the next debt, which at that point was my personal credit card. So what that did is it gave me momentum. It put me in a space where I was so excited and I felt really proud of myself that I had paid off one. I was so bad. I wanted to buy something. I just had an urge to use my card and to spend. So what I would do is I would really have to talk to myself and be like, okay, you want to spend? All right, you're going to spend $50 on this item or this thing. We're going to pay $50 towards the debt. There, you're happy. You spent $50. And it's weird that you have to have those conversations with yourself, but sometimes you just have an urge to spend money. And again, our sinful nature. So I did it. I played that game. And it worked. Honestly, I was like, okay, I $50 less. I just spent $50, so I can't go out and spend more. And I would literally just tell my friends, like, nope, I'm not getting my hair done, you know, it's gonna be $300. That's $300 that I could put towards a debt. Like, literally, these are the things that I would say to myself. These are the things that I would say to friends to keep me accountable, because I was prone to make these impulse purchases. And if you've been watching this video, you know that those didn't turn out very well. Here we are, a lot of sacrifices. I did that with each and every debt. And so, like, I really did speed up the process. I got upset with myself, and I think that's what gave me more of like the willpower to continue to just pay things off, because I would remember, like, I had at some point I had like $8,000 in just like savings, working and doing all these things. Like, I had saved up some really good money, and again, still purchasing what I wanted and spending good amounts of money on things that I shouldn't have. Like, I still managed to save $8,000 at some point. Really get on myself, because I'm like, oh, Diana, you could have used that money to pay. You could have used this other money to pay. Like, I went back and forth, and you know, you kind of have to extend grace on yourself during this period of time, because it is hard. Like, you just get really frustrated with yourself, because I know that I could have paid off my student loans way, like, years ago. I graduated in 2013. So I finally paid off my student loans in May of 2020. And let me tell you, it is just so freeing to feel that you no longer go to sleep thinking, like, how in the world am I going to pay off all the stuff that I like owe, like all the money that I owe. It's stressful. Yeah, like, it takes a toll on yourself, on your family, on your relationships, because it all spills out. And it's there. Like, you are a slave to debt, right? And to those people that you owe money to. So out of this whole experience, I hope that you are able to see my mistakes, learn from the past, from my past experiences. Don't do it. Reach out to someone. If you need help, make a budget, a healthy budget. I actually created a budget on a monthly budget that you can download on my website. So I will link that below, so that you can go, you can download it, you can just start writing things down. Start tracking where your money goes, and look for accountability partners, people that love you and care about you and want to see you live a better life. I can't stress it enough. Like, I still can't believe that I paid $31,000 in 22 months during a pandemic. There's no excuse. If I did it, if I hunkered down, if I had to build some discipline, you can do it too. And that's why I love Nike, because their slogan is just do it. It doesn't get any easier than that. Like, just do it. That's why I love their slogan. It's so simple. You can give yourself a pep talk through anything. I hope that this encourages you. I hope that it makes you want to really take control of your finances and not allow them to control you. It builds healthy habits. I am a real estate agent, so I do see a lot of people that I help that are thousands of dollars in debt, and they want to buy a home, and we have to go through that hard conversation of taking the proper steps to get there. And sometimes it may seem like it's a huge mountain that you can't move, but it starts with baby steps. And you always want to make sure that you have money on reserve. You want to have money, at least $1,000 in your emergency fund, so that if something does happen, your car breaks down, there's like a medical bill, like whatever the case may be, that you have that money and it's available, and you don't have to take out a loan, you don't have to stress. Just start saving money. Like, I want to buy a house, like I want to own property, and so I have to save money. I have to save money for a down payment. I have to start training myself, because there will be a time where I will have a mortgage payment. Again, like, it starts with a baby step, so you can do it. And comment down below if you are in debt and you just want help. Maybe this can be a thread where you're held accountable, you can private message me on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to jump on a call with you or just message you back and encourage you, because honestly, really, when you're not in debt, you have more freedom to do the things that you want to do, right? You can go on vacation, you can go out to a nice restaurant with a friend, you can start saving for things that you want, like a car or a house. So many things that you can do. You can help other people who might be in need. Honestly, just changed my whole perspective. And I'm really thankful for, again, my senior pastor who wasn't afraid to talk about finances according to what the Bible said. So hopefully this is encouraging. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be once I cut it and upload it, but again, please, I am starting my YouTube channel where I will be sharing real estate life and everything in between. So let me know what you want to see. Please like this video. Please subscribe. It's really going to help me grow my video. I want to reach 100 subscribers by September. So if you could just please help me get there. I have some ideas that I want to do and also some giveaways. So once we reach 100 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. So again, thank you so much for watching, and tune next week for another video. Bye!